Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on sum of an arithmetic progression. A special puzzle to warm up the brain cells is on the next slide. The answer will be given at the end. Enjoy. What is the meaning of the following? Good luck with it and see how you go. Finding the sum of an arithmetic progression is achieved by using the following formula. And there it is there. Sn, that means the sum of the arithmetic progression to a certain number, Sn. For example, S4 is the first 4 terms, S7 the first 7 terms, etc. So there is the formula, where n is the number of terms we're looking at, a is the first term, and d is the common difference. Here's an example. Find the sum of the first 20 terms of the following sequence. Now in this sequence, we're looking at the first 20 terms. The first term is 6, and the common difference is 3. So we substitute into the above formula, and we come up here and we do the simplification, and we get that S20 equals 690. That is, the sum of the first 20 terms is 690. Example 2. The sum of the first 8 terms of an AP is 140. The sum of the first 7 terms of the same AP is 112. What is the 8th term? So the 8th term is actually T8. That will actually be S8 minus S7. That means the sum of the first 8 terms of the arithmetic progression minus the sum of the first 7 terms. And that will actually give you the 8th term. So we were given that the sum of the 8 terms was 140, the sum of the 7 terms was 112, so the 8th term is 28. So Tn, that is any term in the arithmetic progression, is the sum of n minus the sum of n minus 1. So if you wanted to get the total of, say, the first 50 terms of an arithmetic progression, that's Sn. If you take away the sum of the first 49 terms, because that's 50 minus 1, that gives you the 50th term. So that means that T50, the 50th term, equals the sum of the first 50 terms minus the sum of the first 49 terms. That's just an example of what that formula means. From the previous slide, here is the same equation, just for ease of reference. So with this in mind, let us look at the following challenging problem. If Sn equals 3n squared plus 5n, find an expression for Tn, hence find T5. So we're given Sn from the above. There it is there, that's from the problem. Sn minus 1, it just means you put n minus 1 wherever you see n. So if we go through and simplify that, we have this. We have Sn, which we were already given, and here is Sn minus 1. So Tn, as stated before, is Sn minus 1. So there's Sn, there's Sn minus 1. We do the simplification and we find that Tn, so Tn equals 6n plus 2. So what's T5? Well, you just put 5 wherever you see n. 6 5s are 30, plus 2 is 32. So T5 is 32. So the arithmetic progression itself, just as a matter of interest, put n equals 1 here. 6 1s are 6, plus 2 is 8. Put n equals 2 there. 6 2s are 12, plus 2 is 14. And that's how you generate the arithmetic progression. So the next slide will give us another example. So the fourth example, this time Sn is 4n squared plus n. find an expression for Tn, hence find T20. So there's Tn, which is Sn minus Sn minus 1. From the initial information, we're given that. We substitute n minus 1 wherever we see n. So from the initial information, here is Sn, and after we simplify that, we get Sn minus 1. So, from this formula here, we substitute into there. So there's Sn, there's Sn minus 1. We do the simplification and we find that Tn is 8n minus 3. So there is Tn, 8n minus 3. So T20, you substitute 20 where you see the value of n there, where you see that letter. So 8 times 20 minus 3, 160 minus 3, and that gives you 157. So what's the actual arithmetic progression as a matter of interest? When you put n equals 1, 8 ones are 8 minus 3 gives you 5. Put n equals 2, 8 twos are 16 minus 3 equals 13. And so on, where you can generate the arithmetic progression. Here's a quick quiz to help you. Please check through the video at any time. The answer to the puzzle, what is the meaning of the following? Life begins after 40. I wonder if you agree with that. Here are the answers to the quick quiz, and the video is at your disposal.